Welcome to my channel Electronics on Wheel, and thank you for your support. Please like, subscribe and comment if you are liking the content of this particular channel. And I have got many requests on Telegram to create the videos on many different topics, whether it is CHS or CATIA or different topics. So one of the request I have got on headlamp circuit creation. So I am taking today this particular topic. So I will create the videos on different other topics as well, which are requested by you. But I am taking those topics which are more important for you in terms of your preparation, or in terms of wherever you are working, that these topics are more helpful for you um, in terms of understanding the basic of circuits or schematics. So let's start today with the headlamp circuits. So today I'm going to discuss about the headlamp so first we will discuss about how the components used in headlamp and what are those components, and the understanding of schematic of the headlamp, how it works headlamp, how all these components are integrate with each other and works the headlamp. Then in last we will try to discuss about the 2D drawing, and then we will see the component development as well. So if time will permit in this particular video, then we will discuss about 2D drawing and component development. Otherwise we will take in the next videos these particular two topics, because these are also very important when you are working as a system engineer, or when you are working on as a technician on a repairing of the headlamp and other component. So you should be aware about the basic of the particular component, that how this particular component has developed. So let's start with the video on the headlamp circuit. So this is the schematic. So I have seen many videos on YouTube on headlamp schematics, but I did not get any particular video where they have explained everything about the schematic of that headlamp circuit. They have just gone to the hardware, where you have the combination switch and all that stuff, bulbs, and they are showing this thing. So today I will discuss about this schematics. So just I will give you the overview, like we have the primary fuse box, secondary fuse box, what is the function of this. Then we are using the two relay, low beam and high beam relay, then combination switch, and then we will see the bulbs which are we are using for the high beam and the low beam, and why we are using the instrument cluster, and what is the role of giving that connection to the instrument cluster. So all these things we will understand in detail in this video. So let's start to the component description. So headlamp circuit components, and they are around 8 to 10 components. So I have listed out the major component which we know. So the first component is our headlamp. So headlamp means the bulb which we are using. We will try to understand what type of bulb we are using, and why we are using those. Then relay, as I told you that there are two type of relay we are using here, the high beam relay and low beam relay, and why we are using, we will try to understand the function of that particular relay. Then combination switch you have seen many times, so we will try to understand the engineering behind this also. When you switch on, or you press the button on the combination switch, and your headlamps on, but what goes behind that, we will try to understand by these components. Then we have the cluster. So cluster is nothing but instrument cluster. On instrument cluster, as you know, that we have the telltale. In lay terms we call it symbols, but in technical term we call it telltale. So cluster shows our speedometer and other telltale as well. So we will try to understand what is the use of instrument cluster in the headlamp. Then we will see the fuse. As you know that fuse is primary component of any circuit or schematic. Then we will see the ground point. So ground point, I will not go much detail in the ground points, because you already know that in ground, the what is the purpose of giving the ground point, to complete the circuit or to give the return part to the battery through the chassis. Then we will see the wires, and what type of wire we will use, we will see those things. Okay, so if time will permit, so I will try to explain about the wires also, what type of wire we have to use, and what should be the CSO of that particular wire, and how to select those colors as well. So let's start with the headlamp. So the first part is the headlamp. You might have seen many times this type of headlamps in your car or in your commercial vehicle, whether it is truck, tractors, off-road vehicles, JCBs, backloaders. So the headlamp bulb would be more or less same, but there are mainly two types of headlamps we are using. If I talk in terms of mid segment of vehicles and the luxury segment of vehicles, so one is halogen lamp. So halogen lamp you will see in many vehicles, whether it is commercial vehicle, trucks, buses, and even you can see in the lower end of the vehicles. But when you go to the luxury end of vehicle like Audi and BMW, then you will see the LED bulbs. And LED bulbs, what is the difference between these, we will see. So halogen lamp, the power which it takes, it is around 55 watt to 65. It range varies between this. So suppose if low beam, if I'm using 55, then for high beam I am using the 60 watt. So this is the range of bulb in the halogen which we use for the headlamp. But when it comes to LED, so in LED, if I am not wrong, around 12 to 14 watt of requirement, power consumption of requirement is there for bulbs. So you can see that how much power reduction is happening when you are using the LED lamps. So LED lamps and more brighter, more the intensity of those brightness. So all these factors plays when you comes under the luxury vehicles. So BMW, Audi, all these companies are using LED lamps most of the time. But today we will talk about the halogen lamp, and we will stick on only two things. Like for low beam, we are going to use the 55 watt of bulb, and for high beam we are going to use for the 60 watt. But it is not like that you have to make the difference. You can use the same bulb for the high beam and low beam. It depends on the only operation, that how you are going to use and how this brightness is going to affect. So this is the headlamp structure and overview. In the right side of this slide, you can see that there are some distance are given from the ground. So these are the homologation requirement which need to be maintained. So in some other day, I will make the one particular video on homologation, how the company need to follow the homologation rule, and you have to maintain those standards. So this is one of the standard, like you have to maintain some distance from the ground to your vehicle. So it is not like you have to maintain only 400 or 250 I have just given one example, but there are some standards which you have to follow according to the homologation. So today we are not talking about the homologation. So today we will be focused on the high beam and low beam function in the headlamp. So I hope you are clear on this. So these specification would, how you will get these specifications. So mostly the headlamp data sheet would be there, and you will be getting that particular specification, that how much power consumption is there for that particular headlamp, and how much current it can draw from the your power source. So this is all about the headlamp lamps. So I just show you one more thing. This is the example of Mahindra XUV, I think 300. So I just show you the where is the location of high beam and low beam bulb. So this is the headlamp high beam. You can see this is the headlamp high beam, and if you see the low beam, so this is my low beam. You can see here, this is the low beam, and then we have the turn signal. So today we will not discuss about the turn signal, fog lamp. So here it is your fog lamp. So today we will not discuss about turn signal, fog lamp. There are many multiple lighting systems are there in the car. So today we will not focus on all the lighting system. We will just focus only headlamp, low beam and high beam. So this particular information I have taken from the service manual of Mahindra. You can also go through the online manuals. You can freely access those manuals, and you can get the information about that particular bulb, how many number of bulbs we are using, and how much wattage it require for that particular. You can take the Tata Nexon also, you will get the same rating for the bulbs, for the this is the halogen bulb. So you can see the other signals also, front turn signal also, side turn signal lamp also, static, bending lamp, brake lamp, rear turn signal, rear position lamp, reversing lamp. So all these things are there, but today I am just going to focus on this headlamp. And you can see in last video I have shown you that how to calculate the fuse value for that particular high beam or low beam. And you can see that 55 watt or number of bulbs per vehicle is 2. So you can understand that 55, when you are calculating the value of fuse, then you have to multiply with 55 into 2, so 110. If it is my 60 watt, then you have to multiply it by 2, then 120 watt, and then you have to calculate the fuse value. We will see that fuse value how to calculate in the coming slides. But this is the understanding. You should understand that for the high beam and low beam, there would be for high beam there would be two number of bulbs, and for low beam also there would be two number of bulbs, and then we have to calculate our the current requirement. So I hope you understood the headlamp here, what is the position, where are they are located, and what is the power requirement. Let's just move to the relay part. So relay is required for turning the headlamp switch on and switch off. So as I earlier told you that what is the function of the relay and how it works. So in this I'm not going to explain the basic things about the relay and or any harness. I'm just going now on an advanced level where I will give you the data in terms of numbers, how the exactly the particular circuit is going to construct, and how this particular circuit is going to be implemented in your vehicle. So now you will see here 86 and 85, this particular part is the coil part, and 87 and 30, if it is a 4 pin relay, then this is the function. So 87 and 30, if I will ask you, this particular 87 and 30 terminal is used for the your headlamp high beam or low beam to control that. Okay, to load, it is going to connect to the load. So earlier video I have told you there is a one two side, one is load side, this is the load side, and this is the coil side. Coil side is nothing but the controlling the function of your load. Okay, whether it is going to be switch on or switch off, this is the function of the relay. So if you see the relay here, so you can see this is the 4 pin relay, and sorry, here it is a 5 pin relay. In 5 pin relay also there is no problem. You can see here the 5 pin relay, this would be the relay coil, and NO contact, NC contact, and then this would be the pole. So here it is a four pole relay, if you see. So I already told you that how to identify which one is the load side and which one is the coil side. So this would be the coil side, because the terminal also is a tab width, if you see, is a lesser, and here if you see it is a higher tab width. So you already know that load side we require more current, and on coil side we require less current to control that particular function. So this is how the relay we are going to use. Then there are some condition of that particular relay. So suppose how should be the coil resistance. So between terminal 85, internal coil 97, surcharge and super suppressor resistance, that should be the 1 by 2 watt of 6080, and then rated current is in milliampere 141, if you see. So this is the rated current of coil side. Okay, then operating voltage a, that would be 8 volt. Then release voltage is nothing but because this particular, if I see here, this is your load side, and this is going to connect here, making the contact and breaking the contact. So to release that particular contact, that is the voltage 1 volt or more, service voltage range, and then rated power consumption is in millivolt, 1.6 watt. Okay, or 1694 milliwatt. So this is how your relay should relay data should data sheet should look like this. And I will show you one data sheet of relay as well, where you will see all these information. So here also the switching area, this is the performance of that particular relay. They have shown that rated load what should be there, inrush current, how much inrush current can withstand, then how much the continuous current carrying current in normal open side 20 amps, and NC side it's can be 10 ampere. So these are the information about the relay. Now we will understand how we are going to select that particular relay for the our headlamp circuit. So before selecting that particular relay, so we have some question here, so you will get more clarity. So suppose uh, I have already told you that we have the 60 watt of maximum, suppose bulb we are using, so total 120 watt. If I cross, cross it, multiply it, v is equals to IR, and we have our I around 10 amps. For 10 amps already in last class I have shown you the what is the fuse value. So if I take 1.25 is the multiplication factor for the fuse selection, so it will come around 12.5. The fuse value will come around 12.5, but we do not have the fuse of 12.5, so we will select fuse of 15 amps. So this is the value of 15 amps of fuse we are going to use in this headlamp relay. Then what should be the my headlamp relay rating? So this would be like 20 amps is more than adequate. So how we are selecting this? So always you remember that relay rating should always be higher than the fuse rating. And how much it should be higher? So it should be like, if I am getting like 15 amps of fuse, then I can go with the 20 amps of relay. If I am getting the 20 amps of fuse, then I can go 30 amps of relay or 40 amps of relay. So always it should be higher side. It should not be like on a equal side or lesser side. Suppose if I am selecting the fuse of 15 amps, it should not be on 10 amps of relay or 15 amps of relay. So you should remember this thing always. So the second question, a headlight relay runs on what voltage? So I hope you already know that it is 12 volts. So we are already running all the loads on the 12 volt. So sometimes on particular point that voltage might be more or less, the 12 volt, but the theoretically we say 12 volt only. Why do you need a headlight relay? So you already know that what is the function of headlight relay? To switch on the particular load. But what is the condition? Is it possible that without headlight relay you cannot switch on the your headlamp? So answer is no, you can switch on your headlamp without headlight relay also. But we will see, we have already seen that what are the positive and what are the negative of using the headlight or any relay. So here also we will see in those things. Does a relay have to be used for headlight? So see, there are two benefits, but it is not necessary that you have to only use the headlight relay. So what are the benefits? So lights may be made brighter because full system voltage will reach to the lights. Second benefit is headlight switch will last most indefinitely. Means what does it mean? That whatever switch you are using, so for headlight we are using the combination switch for controlling our headlight. So that particular switch will last longer, because what is the reason? Because the contacts will only to carry the milliamps of the current whenever the light is switched on. So when your switch is working on very low current, then there is a less effect, or there is a less damage to the switch. But when you are working on a higher current or high switching current, then there are chances of sparking and many other electrical factor which can affect your switch and it can damage. What is the reason of using the relay in headlines? I think, I hope you understood. There are many reasons of using the relay for the headlight, because you are controlling the higher current with the help of lower circuits. So these are the benefits. I hope now you are clear that what is the role of relay in any circuit, not only in headlight. I hope you understand. And relay rating should always be higher than the fuse rating. And what is the fuse rating and how to calculate the fuse rating, I have already told you. So let's move to the combination switch. So the combination switch would be something like this, and these are the your pigtail which is coming from here with the connections, and this particular part is going to connect with your harness. So here also you can see, so different company comes with a different of combination switch. So here I have taken this one example of combination switch which is from the tractor, I think Kubota, and one particular switch we have taken similar to which you use in the car. So this particular function, you might be aware that this is a high beam and this is a low beam. Then you have, this is the parking lights. So today we will discuss about these two. So as usual, I have one request. If you are liking the content of this video, please like, subscribe and comment on this video. At least you can like and comment on that particular video if you have already subscribed that particular channel. So let's move to the combination switch in more detail. So you will get this type of switches in your car, in your commercial vehicles. So let's see about the internal circuit. So if you see this, this is the internal circuit of the particular combinations switch, where you have the input side and you have the output side. So this is how it will look like internally, but in schematic we will show in this way. So we will show the terminal position in this, and position will show in the column wise. So what does it mean? Suppose terminal 1, terminal 2, terminal 3, terminal 4, terminal 5, terminal 6, terminal 7, terminal 8 of that particular combination switch. So here this side would be the terminal, this side would be the terminal, and here it would be the position. So suppose if you have connected this particular wire on this particular one's position, and here you are taking, here it would be the input side, okay, and here we will not show any input. Here it is just a power supply on the one side. Here we will take as a output. So suppose my particular combination switch in the first position, and I am taking this particular output. So this would be in a no connection from this, and nothing will be happen on your headlight or any lighting system. But when you come to the second position of this park and you have connected this particular connection to your lighting, so this particular connection should be connected to your parking light or tail lamps. Then low, the third position is the low, where you are having this particular position. So this particular connection should be connected to your low beam. Then fourth position like high beam, so this particular connection should be connected to the your high beam relay. So this is how your combination switch works. We will see in the next slide that how it will look like and how it will be connected to the your schematic. So what is the function of the cluster? So you might have seen many times the in cluster, instrument cluster, you will be seeing this type of symbol. So this type of symbol you might be seeing in your cluster, and when this particular symbol or telltale will come when you will change your combination switch position from low beam to high beam. So can anyone tell me that have you seen the this particular telltale for the low beam also, or only for the high beam only? If anyone have seen the low beam telltale also in your cluster, please comment in the comment box and let me know, and tell the which car or which particular vehicle you have seen the low beam uh, telltale also. Mostly, and I am telling you the mostly, it would be high beam only in most of the car or most of the vehicle. Can we take the low beam telltale or not in the cluster? We can discuss this particular point in detail and what is the logic behind this. But as of now, you understand only high beam telltale will be in your cluster. When you are switch on the high beam, then this particular telltale will come in your cluster and it will tell to the driver, okay, this you have switch on your high beam. So low beam, what is the low beam or dipped beam? This is the symbol for this in your combination switch, as I have shown you earlier. Sorry, if you see here, so this is the symbol. So if you simply want to eliminate your path at night, so set your car to this symbol, and also called the dipped light. Then high beam, where it is required, so typically called bright light, and then icon of this get involved the straight lines, wherever the low beam icon shows the slanted lines. Then fog lights and the this parking lights we will discuss in another video. But what is the parking light? I just tell you that parking light, this setting activates the telltale and license plate illumination without activating any front light. So high beam and low beam will not illuminate, no, will not be on, but your parking light or telltale will illuminate. But one question I want to ask, when you see this particular connection, when your combination switch in the low position, this particular, then automatically this particular connection is already made, if you see here. So it means that when you are switch on low beam or high beam, that your parking light will always on. I hope you understood my point here. So see, even you see when your combination switch position would be on high beam, then your park connection is already made. So it means that parking light will be on automatically when you are in a high beam or low beam. Now you know already what is the low beam. Low beam looks like this, and high beam looks more brighter. You can see more further, more range towards straight or towards road. So it covers around 100 meter high beam, but low beams typically covers around 40 meter. So these are the differences. What is the difference between the beam angle straight and upward for the high beam, but low beam towards the ground and road, and focus is long range for the high beam, but low beam is a short range. Light coverage, if we typically talk, that 100 meters for high beam and 40 meters for low beam. So best for no light environment and rural area, you should go with the high beam. But when you are in the urban area, the normal low light environment, then it is fine with the low beam. Activation period, the short period for the high beam, but low beam should always be on when you are in the night, when you are in a no light environment. So blind other drivers. So as you know, high beam blinds to other driver if you are coming from the opposite side, but low beam doesn't do, because it's focus on the ground and it is for the short range. So I hope you understand the function of the high beam and low beam lamps. Let's move to the cluster. So in cluster you might have seen this type of telltale. So we call it telltale in technical term, but you can call it symbol also or indication also. So this particular symbol, call it left turn signal and right turn indicator. This is nothing but, you know already, that if we have to go to the left side, then we have to give the left turn indicator. If we have to go to the right, then right turn indicator, and these indicator will turn on when you are using your combination switch and giving that particular command through the combination switch. But today we will see this high beam headlamp. So headlamp high beam, you can see this particular symbol. So whenever you will switch on the headlamp high beam through your combination switch, then this particular symbol will illuminate, and it will tell to the operator or driver that okay, you have switch on your high beam, and now you are on the you are driving with high beam on. So this is about the instrument cluster. I hope now you understood why we need the instrument cluster in our schematic, because we need this particular telltale into our cluster to tell the driver, okay, you have on your headlamp high beam, and driver should be aware, okay, I have on my headlamp high beam, and this particular connection should be connected in our schematic, and how it should be connected we will see in the schematic. Then let's move about the fuse box. So this is the last component which we are covering. After that we will move to the schematics. So there are three fuse boxes, as you know, in most of the vehicles, whether you go to Tata Nexon or Mahindra or any other. However, in luxury end you might get some different type of fuse boxes, but here we are using these type of boxes only. So battery mounted fuse box, engine compartment fuse box, and instrument panel fuse box. So battery mounted fuse box are the I primary fuse box. So I have already told you our fuse box are distributed in primary fuse box and the secondary fuse box. So primary fuse box comes for the mega fuses, midi fuses, where you have the more range. But secondary fuse comes for the lower values, where you are controlling that particular function, like headlamp beam or any other lighting system or any other ignition switch operation. So these fuses will come under the secondary fuse box, and for primary fuse box we will use the mega fuses. So here also it is written. So battery mounted fuse box is nothing but the primary fuse box. Battery mounted fuse box is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Functionality of the battery mounted fuse box is to provide the circuit protection to the alternator, power supply to the main engine compartment, fuse box, and engine cooling fan. So there are three fuses you can see which are mounted on the battery itself. So main charging fuse, that is 125 amps. Bus bar fuse, this is nothing but the fuse which is going to connect to our main engine compartment box, from where the power will be distributed to the whole our vehicle. Then cooling fan fuse. So this is a like a high current rating, so that's why we have given here itself. So these are the fuse which are on the primary. Now we will see the secondary fuse box which is in the our engine compartment. So you can see the engine compartment. This is the location where our secondary fuse box will be there in engine compartment, and it will look like this. So here you can see these are the fuse box which contains the relay as well as fuse also. So headlamp relay, high beam relay, headlamp relay, low beam relay, you will see here. These are the two relay which we are going to use. We have already discussed. Then we have these two fuses, F8 high beam fuse which is 15 amps, and then low beam fuse, that is also 15 amps of fuse. And I have already told you how this fuse rating will is came 15 amps. I hope I have no need to repeat this particular rating how it came. You already know we have the 60 watt of bulb, then we have two bulbs left hand side, and one is left hand side, other is right hand side. Then we combine them, 120 watt came, and then our current came 10 amps, and then we have taken 1.25 of factors, that came 12.5, and then we have taken the next rating, that is 15 amps of the fuse. So I hope you are clear till now why we are using the relay, why we are using the fuse, what is the rating of the fuse, what is the rating of the headlamp relay. I am If anyone has any confusion till now, please comment in the comment box. I will again explain this thing and will try to understand more. Then we have the third fuse box, that is instrument panel fuse box. So this also plays the role in giving the power supply or power distribution to other different functions. So today we will not discuss about this instrument panel fuse box. We have already discussed about the primary fuse box and secondary fuse box, and whatever fuse box we are using we have already discussed. So let's move to the schematic. So as I already told you that this is our battery, and battery is our 12-volt battery, then 60 to 80 Ah. We will discuss about what is the meaning of 80 Ah, 60 Ah, what is the CCA, what is the RCA. We will discuss in detail, but as of now you just understand, and then it will go to our primary fuse box. Then I have written here 100 amps. This rating also we will discuss based on what we calculate this particular rating, but as of now you understand this is 100 amps of primary fuse we are using. You can write here 125 amps also. We have seen earlier itself that we are using 125 amps of fuse, that is midi fuse, and it is used for the charging function. Then one wire we have taken to the secondary fuse box, and secondary fuse box is nothing but that is in engine compartment, that is the fuse box. Then after that we have taken the fuses for the low beam relay and the high beam relay, and these fuse value is 15 amps, here also 15 amps. Then we have our combination switch. For combination switch also we will take one fuse, because we have to protect the combination switch also, and it is a 5 amps of fuse. So combination switch, I remember that typical value is 3 amps. So maximum value, maximum current drawn by the combination switch is 3 amps. So more than that it doesn't take. So we are using the 5 amps of fuse here. I hope it is clear. Fuse value till here you are clear why we are using. Now combination switch. So already I have told you we have the three position. First is spark, then second is low beam, and then third is the high beam. So what we will do, we will take one connection of low beam, and we are using two relays. One is low beam relay and other one is a high beam relay. So we will give this connection to here, and then this particular connection will be grounded through the coil. So why we are giving this particular connection to the coil? Because we want this particular coil to generate the magnetic flux, and after generating the magnetic flux, this particular load side will switch on and switch off. Make and break connection will happen through this coil. So we are controlling this particular coil through this combination switch, and once this particular magnetic field will generate and will take the force down, then this particular connection is going to my low beam. You can see here. So this is my low beam bulb here, and this is my low beam bulb here. So this is my LH and this is my RH side. So one low beam bulb here and one low beam bulb here. So I have already written here low beam bulb, and I already told you this is 55 volt and this is also 55 volt. And after that I have grounded it. After that I have grounded it. So I hope you understood the low beam functionality, how it is generating and how it is controlling, how the combination switch is working. Now similarly we will see the for the high beam relay. So in high beam relay we have this particular connection here from pin number 3rd. We are controlling this coil, and this coil will make and break this particular load connection, and after that this particular connection is going to the high beam, and this high beam will sorry if you see here through the splice, and this high beam will control this bulb. This is LS side, this is RS side. I hope you understood. But one thing I have told you earlier also, when your high beam is you are switch off switch on, if you are doing through the combination switch, the switch on and switch off the high beam should come in the instrument cluster. So we will take one connection from here and we will give to the instrument cluster also. In instrument cluster already there is a pin assigned for this particular telltale, and it will connect to your instrument cluster. I hope you are clear in this, why we are giving all the connections and what is the function of all the connection. But here I have one question to you. Why we are giving this connection here on this coil? Can we give this connection here? If we can give this connection here, what are the advantage? What are the disadvantage? Can you list down all the advantage and disadvantage in the comment box, so that your understanding will be more concrete, and you will be, this is the designing part of the schematic. Okay, so all the connection you can connect anytime, but this is the main part, that how you are deciding all these decisions, that from where you are making the connection, what will affect if suppose I am not taking this connection from here. So let me erase one time, sorry. So suppose if I am not taking this instrument cluster connection from here and I am taking from here, then what will be the effect? If I am taking from here, then what will be the effect? This connection, can I take from here this connection? So these questions you have to think, and you just try to comment on the comment box, and I will try to give the answer of these questions, so your understanding will be concrete. So I hope you understood that what is the function and how it is controlling. So one more time, I'm just telling you. So it is battery, this is your primary fuse, this is your secondary fuse, it is connected to here. Then this these are all secondary fuses, and all these are connected through the bus bar. One time I will show you in the fuse box also that how these bus bar are connected to each other for the internally for the fuses. So these fuses are internally connected with each other. Then you have the fuse for the low beam relay, then high beam relay, and this is the combination, this is the fuse for the combination switch 5 amps. When you are switch on the low beam, then this particular current will flow from here to here. Then magnetic field will generate, this circuit will complete here, ground. Then this circuit will complete, it will make the connection here, then it will go to here, then it will go to the low beam, and your low beam will switch on. Okay, this is ground. Similarly for the high beam, so for the high beam also, when you are switch on the high beam, so this current will flow here, then this will make the connection, connection here, then this will go to here, then it will switch on your bulb, high beam bulb, and these are the value of high beam bulb. But here, once you are switch on the combination, switch on the high beam through the combination switch. So we have to give this connection also in instrument cluster. Once it will switch on, then your instrument cluster, that particular telltale will glow. So this is how this particular complete circuit will be made. I have taken the more time to create this particular video. So in next video we will understand the wire CSA for all the wires throughout the this all the wire CSA, color, and connector selection also we will see how to do, and then 2D, and then component development. These are the topics which I have left. So in next video we will try to understand all the wire CSA, connector selection, then terminal selection also we will see, then 2D drawing and component development. So whatever question I have asked you in this particular video, you just comment in your comment box and try to give the answer, whether it is right or wrong. Try to give the answer, and please like, subscribe, and comment if you like the video and understood something on the headlamp new. So thank you.